King Kenney. Thanks for getting up early.
Only for you. Only for you.
I, I appreciate. Are you in the record store? Are you in
I
the
am.
record shop?
I am in the records. I came in early to do inventory, so I'm here.
Oh my gosh, how are you?
Doing well. Doing well. We
Yeah,
haven't talked in a while, but I'm doing well.
yeah. How's it feel to be back in New Haven?
It's good. Community embraced me. That's why we returned. Wanted to get that feeling back. And weather has not been conducive to me acclimating as I would have liked, but it's been good. It's been good to be here.
All right, so you back, your wife and the child,
Yeah,
and
doing it.
you got a whole new venture because you
Yeah.
are you are a marketing exec, right? You are a marketing analysis. You're like that guy that they call when they need to get the numbers right and to understand demographics and all that kind of stuff. And now you pivot and you're like, I'm gonna open a record store.
Yeah, you know me from doing marketing for arts initiatives, and then also I was most recently a CMO for a tech firm. So I think um, I haven't, opening the record store was a big pivot, but also I'm utilizing a lot of those skills here to try to, get the word out about the organization. So that's been helpful. So I haven't, strayed too far from my roots as a writer strategist in that regard. But yeah, it's a big jump. Entrepreneurship, I think that was in my blood the whole time. So it was good for me to go ahead and do something of this sort.
So why records? And why not like a coffee shop or ice cream parlor? Or I mean, you could do any number of things. What was it about records that pulled you in?
I mean, in a dream scenario, this would have been a record store with a cafe inside. So it's funny you say that. But no, I've been a collector for a long time, and I wouldn't say I got my start, but writing was what kind of birthed a lot of my marketing chops. So, I was writing previews for artists, reviews of shows. I wrote songs for people way back when, nothing that took off, but I've been in and around music forever. I've been a collector for, I don't know, what feels like 25 or so years, maybe a little longer at this point. So I had a lot of records. I was, hiking through East Rock and the like, trying to figure out what I was going to do next. I knew I didn't want to go back into tech, you know, had to do something. So, talking about music and the idea of me, selling my stuff online wasn't as appealing. I was like, if I can have conversations with folks and like revisit music as a discovery point, like we used to way back when we were going into the shops, I felt really drawn to that idea. So, but yeah, this as a third space when we talk about it, would been great if I could have had a cafe inside of here and people could just hang out for longer periods of time. But for the most part, that's worked out as well.
Like it. All right, so you're downtown, New Haven, Chapel Street,
Yeah, yeah.
right in the heart of all the Yale and all the intersection of work and business and restaurants, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so why'd you choose that space? What was appealing about? I haven't been over there yet. I hear good things. I'm making my way.
Yeah, I can't wait to welcome you in. I think I wanted to be in what felt like a cultural mecca of sorts, kind of like a museum row, because I viewed this as a museum of recorded art. I mean, you can't see all of it now, but naming the store Grails, there was this initial touch point of, hey, you have these really sought after albums that are in, great condition. Let's feature them like you would in the museum and then have conversations about that, but then also do find audio file level reissues of those recordings so people can discover them for the first time in an accessible way. So price is not, precluding them from being able to get access to the music, but they can still own it. But being down here where all the activity is, particularly people coming to seek like cultural, outputs, Yale Rep, all the museums, all the food like that you mentioned. So we wanted to be a part of that as a physical media, footprint. And again, there's some tourist activity. There's, young folks who are coming in and out to hang out, stay out of trouble. So it worked out in a lot of ways that I didn't expect, but some that I planned for.
And it's only like you're like one of only two black businesses downtown.
I feel like
Big
I'm
like
hoping there's more than two. No,
the
more and
anchor.
more is down here. I mean, this block is actually it's okay. We look, there's not enough for sure, but I want to say there's three or four of us on the block. I know a
Yeah,
couple.
there's three or four. The sister that sells the spa stuff. The you
Yeah,
know the
she's right around the corner here, and then more and more. I know she's from Baltimore.
yes, more and more.
She's
You've got
down.
Carl
Yeah.
around the corner, Anchor.
And I was gonna say Anchor Spa, and obviously I partner with them quite a bit. Um, so I mean, we got to do better, but also there's some representation here, and I think we all try to partner whenever we can to make
Hmm.
sure that we lift each other up. So that's been great as well.
So when did you open? When did you open? Like not too long ago, right? Like
Late October. I wanted to do it soft, but we just kind of went in with a bang on that front. So what, 5 months? Pretty
mhm.
fairly new. Still figuring things out.
So tell me about the name.
Again, yeah, Grails again in I'd say in the physical media world and the sneaker world, which I had come from prior as well. A Grail is like that thing that the Holy Grail, the things that you seek out.
Oh,
And
okay.
in music, with collectors, there are records that we just hard to find in the wild. So I realized when I was going through my collection, fighting off bouts of depression, trying to figure out what I was going to do next. I was listening to a lot of these albums that I hadn't played in a long time, and I was like, man, I have a lot of grails in my collection, and I've kept them in pretty good shape. It'd be interesting to sell these off even slowly, just online to see if I can keep my footing going while I figure out what's next. And then that just became the business plan. Was instead of doing it online, I would do it in person, be able to meet those people, have conversations about the work and what I do know about music. And that like I said, it's been an enjoyable experience thus far.
So if I come in here, I could buy an actual physical vinyl.
Yeah, all of them, thousands of physical vinyl. And I'm gonna
Really?
continually expand. Yeah, about 3,000 now. I like to keep it boutique. I don't want it to be something where you feel like I don't know where to begin. But at the end of the day, we'll probably have 7,000 records in here at once. But I need to design it in such a way where people can still dig through and see and touch everything. Because there's
Hmm.
going to be a lot of records that people don't know. Because my kind of esoteric collecting, what has been made plain, I was collecting all over the world and every genre imaginable for a long, long time. And
I
that's
imagine DJs must love you now. Like the D, right? Because DJing has become its own sort of superstar medium, right? Like if
sure.
you know a DJ, DJs are like superstars.
Yeah, they've embraced me and welcomed me in. I don't know if I'm their favorite place to shop, but they're my favorite people to talk to. They come in and we just chop it up quite a bit because again, they have that breadth of knowledge that you speak to, and they've been doing it so long. So I think, I was a DJ way back when as well. So we connect in that way. A lot of 45s when I was doing radio. A lot of house and Afro beats and all that from when I was spinning. So, that stuff just trickles in as I can get my hands on it.
So if I come in the store, tell me the aesthetic.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's hard to explain, but I set up various areas where there's places to lounge and kind of traverse the space and just be. And not to say like record collecting is an afterthought, but it's more of like this is the option. This is the thing we want you to do, but also like there's music being played on a hi-fi setup. Um, there's music, music related films being played with subtitles on, but there's also just like various pillars with featured items. There's a table with more of a playlist style bins where I've creatively laid out soul food instead of just saying, R&B and soul or blues, things like juke joints instead of saying blues. Um, I think, and that's probably been the highlight of the store is people being able to navigate that section and find music that maybe is familiar or unfamiliar, but in a way that's not kind of generic to how record stores have operated for years and years. And I worked at record stores way back when, and we always used to complain that we should reimagine the setup. And I'm grateful for having an opportunity to do that.
So tell me your hours and do people come and just hang out? Like how long can I hang out?
Yeah, I mean, they can hang out as long as they like. I'm open from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday. I take Sundays off to just get a reprieve from the place. But people come in, they do puzzles in the back, they play Connect Four, they play Scrabble,
Oh,
fill in
this is a
coloring
space
pages.
space.
Yeah, some people come in and just study while the music plays. They're yelling at me
Oh,
about,
I might have to do that.
there's books here to read. You can bring your own. It's just kind of a place to be. That's why I say there are hardcore record collectors that come in here, once a week and they're picking up already. So I think that's, working in our favor. But also, I wanted to create a space in this particular location where, if you leave in one of the area high schools and you're waiting for your parents to pick you up, this is a safe landing point. They know where you are. You can come in here and just kind of hang out and chill. And I don't really bother them. I feel like it's safer for him to be here than them to be here than out, doing
Mhm.
whatever. So, um, yeah, yeah, it's great. It's great in that regard.
So when you think about this, what do you think about defining success of it? Do you think about that? Like, how do you know that this is successful?
Yeah, I was talking to the lady about this last night. It's tricky because the business side of things, you want to define success in one way, like objectively quantify per sales and so on and so forth. But I actually um, think it's the music discovery thing, like those moments where people are like, "Hey, I want something like X," and I'm able to direct them to that. It's that like old approach to discovering music that feels the most rewarding to me and potentially to them. I don't know that I'm going to be able to do that every time, but just that I'm offering and I'm learning from folks as well, like that give and take where there's asking me if I have certain things that I've never heard of, and I'm offering them tons of things that they've never heard of, and we're able to expand what the store is and the conversation around music as we go based on the community that lives here. And I can't wait for folks from the area to press vinyls and be able to feature those in the store. We have a few, but that invitation is open in it as well. Because I'd love to have a Connecticut bin. You love to have a New Haven specific bin where people can find local artists. But I think there's various touch points of like what success means. Like when it's truly a community embrace space for music discovery, I think is still being defined and then redefined based on like what that means for people. Because it's an intergenerational space. I mean, you got 6-year-olds that come in here and fill in, coloring book pages. And they're playing with, toys that are, what toy LPs and turntables. So watching that is rewarding, but also being able to communicate with folks about music and just have longer conversations than I think you would normally have in typical settings has been great for me, pivoting from what I was doing prior.
Hmm. So have you had any conversations with your fellow HU, Howard, Bison
Yeah,
people, the Mecca, the da 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 da?
the
There's quite a few running around New Haven.
yeah, the Mecca will find you, and I'm grateful for that, man. I definitely Howard through and through, and they come through. I mean, it was actually just HBCUs in general. There were some kids that came through from Morehouse, showed a lot of love. I think the folks over at Next Haven and brought them in, or something was going on with Yale and them, but they came through, loved the space. Howard, I know they had a debate with Yale recently. Some folks came through, show love to the space, so they find you, and the alumni out here, they trickle in and just give me congratulations, even if they don't shop. I think that's rewarding in and of itself, and just to see my people again.
I love this. I'm about to bring me a bottle of wine and just make it a hang.
Yeah,
Can I
yeah.
bring a bottle of wine and make it a
I will.
hang?
I have no objections. Don't. I'm not gonna tell anybody. Let's do it.
All right, so when people come there, Kenny, Mr. King, Mr. King Kenny, um, what do you want them to experience? What do you want when they walk through those doors? What do you want them to understand about this space?
I mean, I love feedback, um, but I'll say that the thing that has caught me and really made me feel good about what I've accomplished thus far is that people are excited by how clean the space is and how it's distinct from other stores, and that I only put out these like, well taken care of, pieces of art, as I call them, right? So they're always like, is everything in here new? And I'm like, no, it's it's used as well. But I tried to, reseal certain things and package things in such a way where if you're going to truly collect and take care of the thing that you own, I don't want you to have to worry about it, being scratched up or unplayable or, this, that, and the other. There's a nostalgia to some of that we all grew up with, but there's also a lot of folks who are collecting for the first time that just aren't as familiar with what that experience is like. So I wanted to offer something distinct. And I think the experience is, yeah, you're on Museum Row. This is a place where you can buy. So just think of it like the MoMA store, right? Like there's a there's a gallery display where you can buy from, but like if that's not affordable to you, there's also this accessible point where you can get reissues, you can get um you can see art in a way that's unfamiliar, but engage with it, listen to it on your headphones, ask me to play it, be it on the TV or from the turntable, and we can have a conversation about this new thing that you're discovering. And I think that's what this place is really about. It's
Mhm.
small enough and boutique enough where you can really come in with an open mind about, hey, I was looking for this record, but actually this seems interesting. And then you explore it in a new way because the algorithm, it doesn't apply here, right? So for a lot of folks, it's like, hey, I'm out of my depth. I haven't done this in a while, or I've never done this before. And you don't want to just, drop down 30, 50, $100 on something you don't know. So let's really dig in and see if sonically this is something you might enjoy and the process of like looking at the artwork, going through notes, inner sleeves, putting the record on and what that feels like to own that thing and be a little bit closer to the artist. Um, that's a big reward. So hopefully I've done a good job of that and I want to continue to build this place out where I can dig in a little bit deeper in that regard.
So, are you going to program the space up a little bit? Like, will you have like, I don't know, artist readings and poetry things and
Nothing,
conversations and like what I mean? Like almost like
nothing,
a
of that-
bookstore kind of vibe, but in the record shop, like
nothing
that
of
kind
that
of thing.
sort. No activations of that sort. I mean, I'm sticking to there's the chess set here. Folks drop in and play chess. It's more of a third space in the sense that like I want people to drop in and just kind of make it their own if they want to have a meeting, they want to talk, they want whatever. So the programming is more like, hey, we have a listening, just for example, I have an upcoming 10-year anniversary celebration of Beyonce's Lemonade. We're going to play the record. There's going to be
Was it
record.
10 years?
It's been 10 years. Yeah.
No, no, no.
Since
Are you
that
kidding?
2016 was actually pretty phenomenal. So we have quite a few of those albums that will play front to back. And those listening sessions, I was like, let me not, because you know me, you've seen me playing stuff out, and it'll get a little bit out of it'll get a little wild. So I was like, I actually want this to be simplified, where we're just playing the album and people can come and enjoy that while they peruse, while they sit, whatever they want to do, and not try to make it be a thing where people have to pay attention in a specific way. I don't want to define what that is for them. I just want to play the music. So principally, we do listenings. Sometimes I'll book DJs, but even that is like, yeah, just to let people come in and be selectors because you have again, you spoke to this. There's a lot of DJs in the area, and I want to be able to bring them in. But that's mostly the extent of it. I mean, I am hosting a carnival. That's just like Pan Caribbean thing, but even that's like DJs and the things that we already do, right? For
Mhm.
kids, there's that section. So it's just an expansion of that for a day, but mostly the activations are just listening. And I don't want to over define what that means to people who come in. I don't want there to ever be a ticket price that precludes people from being able to come in. I don't want there to be an activity that feels off-putting from people just coming in and shopping. I want it to just be, hey, there's music playing and you can come in and enjoy that while you shop. That's it every time. And regardless if we're celebrating Bob Dylan's Blonde on Blonde or Beyonce's Lemonade, whatever, that can be foreground for you or background for you, but it's gonna happen.
I love
So
it.
I feel like that's where we sit, and I understand the value of bookstores, um, particularly their role in revolutions and different kinds of conversations. I kind of envy them for that, but I don't want to get too steeped in activating the space in a way that deters groups from just coming in and doing the thing that you want to do in a record store, which is like really focus on, having discussions about music, buying music, or just having it be background for you while you study, read, whatever. So that's kind of where I want to sit.
I like that. All right, when are you open? What's the hours? What's the days? When can I come?
Yeah, again, yeah, Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. I'm only closed on Sunday. I am with my daughter, so if anything pops up with her and it's an emergency, then I'll close in. But otherwise, those are the hours and days.
11 to 7. I like those are
Yeah,
nice hours.
yeah, it's been
You
good.
could
It's been
stroll,
good.
especially when the weather gets nice, you could go eat something and stroll and
Yeah,
pop in and hear some music, buy an album or some records, and that's a good night.
that's good. And we have merch as well. So there's apparel here. We're about to put the Grails merch out pretty soon, probably in early May. So look, we're doing ticket giveaways. Um, we're trying to do in-store signings when artists as they come to town. We're doing album release listening events for area folks, trying to help press albums. It's gonna again, we're 5 months in. We're gonna continue to grow and build and build and build.
Well, I'm so glad you got up early to hang out with me this morning.
I appreciate you. You got to come in. I can't wait to
I am.
see you.
Oh, it is on my, I'm doing this little thing called law school.
I know.
So
I heard. I heard.
that takes up all my time. But
Yeah,
I got some free time coming up. I'm gonna come by. I am a big record person. I love records.
I believe that. I
And I've been
believe.
trying to replace all my childhood records slowly.
Yeah, yeah,
But I've been trying to replace them, like Earth, Wind, and Fire, Gratitude, and
sure.
You Mess with Kayla, all that kind of stuff, like replacing all the stuff that I grew up listening to. It's been a labor of love, but it's a labor. So let's see what you got over there.
We gonna make it work. We'll get to you. Take care of you.
Thank you so much, King. It's good to see you,
Good
brother.
to see
Good
you
to
as
see
well.
you.
Always.
I'll see you soon. I'll bring you a bottle of wine.
I appreciate it. Talk soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Thanks, Harry Joe. I won't be here tomorrow, but I'll be back on Monday. We'll talk some more. I'll see y'all.
Love.